Welcome back to the light. This is part 4 in the official probable cause court documents in the Rebecca Park case. Now, the beginning of this is going to touch upon the autopsy of Rebecca Park, and it's approximately 2.5 paragraphs. And from that point, then we will go into more search warrants and more interviews with Bradley and Courtney with the sheriff's office. An autopsy was conducted at Western Michigan University by Dr. Christine James and was attended by Deputy Alexis Howard. There were 6 sharp force wounds on Park's back, 2 to the right upper arm, 1 to the left trapezius area, 2 to the neck, and at least 2 to the face. The right side of the face also has a laceration and an irregular wound to the cheek of unknown etiology. The wounds to the neck are described as superficial and do not penetrate muscle or harm any vasculature. Most of the wounds to the torso are contained in a soft tissue. 1 to the back enters the left pleural space but misses the lung. 1 to the right side of the back enters the right pleural space and does penetrate the right upper lung lobe and causes a large pneumothorax. All major vessels are intact. Rebecca Park's abdomen had incised wounds. The placenta was hanging from the open abdominal wound with attached umbilical cord, and the fetus was absent. The abdomen incision transcended the colon and the small bowel. Dr. James reported that Rebecca Park's stomach contained copious amounts of a blue-green chalky residue. There was also a thin film of subdural blood over the left cerebral hemisphere with focal subdural on the right parietal area. However, there was no subscapular or subgaleal hemorrhage, nor skull fracture is noted. The OA joint had marked laxity, but a posterior neck dissection showed no soft tissue hemorrhage. I apologize if I pronounced any of those medical terms wrong. I am not in the medical field. Now we are moving on beyond those autopsy details. On Sunday, November 30th, 2025, a second search warrant was obtained for Bradley and Courtney Bartholomew's residence at 30 South 21 and a half Road. Search warrants to seize the 2007 Ford Escape 4-door SUV, red in color, with a VIN, not going to read the VIN, and a temporary Michigan registration plate registered to Courtney Bartholomew, and the 1992 Ford F1 pickup truck, white in color, with a Michigan registration, and have them towed to the Wexford County Sheriff's Office to be processed by the Michigan State Police. Laboratory technicians were also obtained. The search warrants were served, and Bradley and Courtney Bartholomew were both taken into custody and transported to the Wexford County Sheriff's Office. On Sunday, November 30th, 2025, at 1541, Detective Lieutenant Pisker and Detective Sergeant Hackman conducted a recorded interview with Bradley Bartholomew. Bradley was put on notice that Rebecca's death is a homicide, and that this is a homicide investigation, and that there can't be any more lies. Bradley was read his Miranda rights from a Wexford County Miranda warning card. He confirmed his understanding of the rights explained to him, and he agreed to speak with the detectives at the time. Bradley reported his knowledge that Courtney went to get Rebecca. They came to the house to get Tide Pods, and they were supposed to go get ice cream. Bradley said that he was at the house with Bentley. He admitted that he lied during his first interview about being at the residence because of his SMEX offender registry status. Bradley is told that SOR violations are small in comparison to a homicide, and he says that at that time he didn't know this was a homicide. He reported that Courtney had backed out of the driveway in the Ford Escape, and then she came back. He says that at that time he had no idea where Rebecca was. He said that he knew Courtney left with the white Ford and then came back. He reported that Courtney had told him that she and Rich Fowler were in the white Ford, and they had a disagreement, and there was blood on the dash. Courtney asked Bradley to clean it up, which he reported that he went out and wiped it down. He said that he didn't see any blood on the floor or on the seats, just blood splattered on the dash. He described that later there was white paint on the seats, and Courtney asked him to remove the seat covers, which he confirmed he did. He said he was unsure what she did with them, if they were thrown in the burn barrel or in the trash. Next, he said that Courtney was talking to him about how she and Rich did something horrible, but she wouldn't tell him. He claimed that once the story of Rebecca came about of her being missing, he began to put two and two together. Bradley reported that Courtney threatened that if he said anything, she'd make his life hell. Bradley identified that Courtney had tried to stab him with scissors in the past and charged with the assault, but the case was dismissed. Bradley clarified that Courtney had told him about something bad happening 5 to 6 days after Rebecca was missing, but he claimed he wasn't sure what bad thing that had been done was. When asked about the story about the baby in the NICU at DeVos, Bradley identified that she was supposedly adopting a baby, but he didn't see how she could due to his status as a SOR, registered in the registry. Bradley said that Courtney was alone when she got into the white Ford and left north on South 21.5 Road, and that she returned approximately 15 minutes later. He stated that he had sent a text to Courtney to see if she needed him to come outside for anything, and she responded in the affirmative. It was now that he said that Courtney reported getting into a fight with Rich. Bradley said he never observed Rich on this date and that he did not observe any injury to Courtney. Returning to the quote something bad topic, Bradley was asked to continue in that topic. He identified that Courtney is all over TikTok and that Kimberly was over to use the escape to deliver newspapers. He confirmed that Kimberly left personal items in the escape and identified she did that all the time. When Detective Lieutenant Pisker asked about anything else that Bradley wanted known before drilling down questions began, he said that Courtney was constantly talking to Rich. He agreed that she was also constantly talking to Kimberly. He reported he can't hear the conversations as they are all taking place by text. He only knows it's them because he sees their names on her phone. Bradley is then confronted with records from carriers, specifically T-Mobile and Verizon. He was asked about Courtney's phone that she had previously said was no longer going to have service. Bradley identified that she had service restored but was aware that she had conducted a factory reset on her phone. He was notified that a factory reset does not prevent access to records that are maintained by the carrier. Bradley said that he had Courtney's phone on Monday, November 3rd, 2025. It is pointed out that there are phone calls between both the phone he uses and the one that Courtney uses while Rebecca is at the house. He passes these as simple calls checking on her comings and goings. He reports that he hasn't driven the truck since he parked it there and that it only had enough gas to get to the gas station. Detective Lieutenant Pisker confronted Bradley's statement about the blood in the truck, confirming his knowledge that the truck had been seized. Identifying if there is any blood of Rebecca found in the truck, there will be a big problem. Bradley is confronted if he thought Courtney had been lying to him about what went on, and he says he does. He suggests he can't see Courtney and Rich being together like that as they haven't talked in over 2 years. Bradley confirmed that there are no $18,000 checks. He did not know why Courtney sent images of the checks. I'm going to end part 4 here, and I will see you over in part 5 next.